I'm Matthew Hutchison for InGoal magazine. We're going to be asking Carey Price a couple of our young readers' questions.
Go.
So Blake Richard, who's 14 from New York, is asking, what's your pregame routine? For example, what do you eat? What do you do mentally to get prepared? How much stretching and when do you get to the rink and get dressed? How long before the game?
Well, I usually get to the rink, a couple hours before, 2.5 hours before. But before that, I guess my pregame meal kind of varies, from game to game. I try not to eat the exact same thing every game because that gets pretty old in a hurry. Because we play a lot of games throughout the season, so typically I'd go, with some type of a brown rice or maybe a gluten-free pasta and a protein, either like a salmon or a chicken or a steak or something like that, a salad and some vegetables. Just kind of a round meal, and then when I get to the rink, typically I'll get changed, maybe have a kind of a cold shower and a coffee, just kind of get woken up, and then basically I'll kind of get my locker all set up. I'll lay out all my equipment, get ready that way, tape a couple sticks. Then typically I'll ride the bike for a little bit until we have our team meeting. We usually have a team meeting, usually about an hour or so before warm-ups start. And then I'll kind of go through a little bit of a dynamic warm-up and a stretch. And then I'll just spend a few minutes just thinking about what I'm going to do out there, and then just start getting dressed and just trying to enjoy conversations with my teammates and listen to some music.
Cool. Liam, who's 10 from Beamsville, Ontario, what was it like flying back and forth to practice when you were young?
It was a lot of fun. It was a very small aircraft, so it was pretty bumpy at times. But we had it was a lot of fun in that airplane, a lot of fond memories. And not too many kids get that opportunity to do that, but it was something that I always think fondly of.
Aaron, who's 12 from Thornhill, is wondering, when things are not going well, what helps you get back on track?
I think when things aren't going well, I think the easiest thing to do is try and trust the process. It's a pretty old cliche, but you just try and work on the things that made you successful. Just try and do things well in practice. Do all your thinking in practice, so then when the game starts, you don't have to do as much thinking.
Annika Reeves, who's 14 from Edmonton, is wondering, what motivates you to be the best, and how do you mentally prepare yourself before a game?
I just think it's in an athlete's nature to want to be the best. I think that's a mentality that you have to have in order to be successful at what you're doing. I don't think that just applies to athletics. I think that it applies to any kind of job you want to do. I think to get mentally prepared for something, you just, for myself, I just kind of do some repetitions of things that I might do often in a game quickly. But like I said, I usually try and take care of that aspect mostly in practice. And then when the game starts, I just try and go off the instincts.
Laura, who's 14 from Germany, is wondering, did you always want to be a goalie, and if yes, why?
No, I didn't always want to be a goalie. I played defense at one point, but my dad was a goaltender, so I think that had a lot of influence on me. And at the end of the day, I just enjoyed the position. So it was kind of fun being able to be the difference maker, and it's something that I enjoyed doing more than scoring goals. So I stuck with it.
Nice. Anne-Marie Olsen-Gavin, who's 12 from Minnesota. What did you do different as a kid to become better than everyone
As a kid, I think that just has a lot to do with, it has a little bit to do with natural ability. Um, a lot of it has to do with just, trying to do things right, do things well, um, paying attention to details and trying to have fun while you're doing it because that's what it's all about.
Ian Christopher Braden, who's 10 from Beaton, Ontario, is wondering, do you like to fish or do any other hobbies while in your off time?
Yeah, I like to go golfing every once in a while. Um, try and do things that involve activity. We'll go on hikes and go on bike rides, and there is some fishing involved when the time is right. Um, do that more in Washington State, but whenever I get out to Anaheim Lake, me and Dad like to get on the creek and try and catch some rainbows.
And what was the biggest fish that you've ever caught?
Well, me and my dad went sturgeon fishing once on the Fraser River, and we wound up catching. Dad wound up catching one 220-pound sturgeon, and I think the biggest I caught was about two.
Okay. Okay, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And got a little present for you. Sweatshirt and a hat.
All right, some lounging gear. I like it. Thank you.